Look at the asphalt. Look at it closely. I want you to visualize the highway during rush hour in Los Angeles, or the bumper-to-bumper crawl on the I-95 heading into Miami, or the gray misery of the commute into Manhattan. What do you see? You see shiny metal boxes. You see sleek lines, panoramic sunroofs, self-driving capabilities, and leather seats that heat up to comfort your lower back while you sit there, trapped. You see the pinnacle of automotive engineering. You see Teslas, BMWs, Mercedes-Benz SUVs, the massive trucks that have never touched a speck of dirt in their lives. From the outside, it looks like a parade of success. It looks like the American dream finally paying dividends. It looks like wealth. But I am here to tell you that you are hallucinating. You are looking at a prison transport convoy. Inside every single one of those climate-controlled cages sits a biological entity, a human being whose cortisol levels are spiking through the roof, whose heart is palpitating with a low-level chronic anxiety that never quite goes away. This is the habitat of the premium poor. You think you know what poverty looks like. You have been trained by the media, by the system, by the matrix, to think poverty looks like torn clothes, empty tin cans, and sleeping on a park bench. That is the old poverty. That is the analog poverty. I am talking about the digital age poverty. I am talking about the poverty that smells like new car scent and sandalwood cologne. I am talking about the man who drives a $60,000 electric vehicle to a job he hates, to pay for a house he is never in, only to come home and eat instant ramen noodles over the sink because his credit card is maxed out and he is terrified that his transaction at Whole Foods will be declined. This is the premium poor. This is you. And if it is not you yet, it is the cliff you are walking toward with your eyes closed, guided by the shepherd dogs of the banking cartel. Let's dissect this pathology, and I mean really cut it open, because unless you see the rot inside, you will never heal. You wake up in a house that is too big. It has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and a lawn that requires water you cannot afford and a landscaping crew you resent paying. Why do you have this house? Because the script said so. Because when you were 25, the system whispered in your ear that renting is throwing money away, which is the single greatest lie ever sold to the American public by the real estate lobby. So you bought the house. You leveraged yourself to the eyeballs. You signed a 30-year contract with a bank that sees you not as a customer, but as a battery, a source of energy. They hooked a tube into your vein and they are draining your life force, drop by drop, in the form of interest payments. You walk out to your driveway. There it is, the symbol, the Tesla Model Y. Or maybe it is the Ford F-150 Platinum. It does not matter. It is shiny. It signals to the neighbors that you have made it. But let's look at the math, the brutal, cold, bakery math that you refuse to do because it hurts too much. You are paying $900 a month for the note. Then you are paying $300 a month for insurance because you are a terrible driver in the eyes of the algorithm. Then you factor into charging, the gas, and the maintenance. You are bleeding $1,500 a month for the privilege of sitting in traffic to get to a cubicle where you trade your limited time on this earth for fiat currency that is being devalued by the Federal Reserve faster than you can earn it. And what do you eat? This is where the tragedy becomes a comedy. You have the appearance of a king and the diet of a refugee. You are eating processed garbage, instant noodles, frozen burritos, the dollar menu. Why? Because you are house poor and car poor. You have allocated all your resources to the exoskeleton, to the shell that people see, leaving absolutely nothing for the internal engine. Your biology is failing because your vanity is winning. You are starving your cells of nutrients so you can feed the ego of a version of yourself that doesn't even exist. You are performing success for an audience that wants you to fail. Do you understand how insane that is? You are buying things you do not need with money you do not have to impress people you do not like, who are secretly hoping you default so they can feel better about their own miserable choices. The system loves the premium poor. You are the perfect consumer. You are the golden goose. Actually, no, you are not the goose. You are the foie gras duck. The bank creates a funnel, a tube, and they shove it down your throat. They pump you full of credit lines, buy now, pay later schemes, and 0% APR offers that explode into 29% interest if you miss a payment by a single hour. And you take it. You swallow it. You bloat yourself with debt because the dopamine hit of swiping that heavy metal card gives you a fleeting sense of power. It is a lie. Real power is sovereignty. Real power is the ability to walk away. You cannot walk away. If you miss 2 paychecks, your entire world collapses. The Tesla gets repossessed. The bank takes the house. The facade crumbles. You are walking a tightrope over a pit of vipers, and you are juggling chainsaws while wearing a blindfold, and you call this lifestyle. Let's go deeper into the psychology of this trap. Why do you do it? Why does the guy making $150,000 a year feel broke? Because of the concept of the lifestyle creep. The matrix is designed to expand your expenses to exactly match or slightly exceed your income. It is a hydraulic press crushing you from both sides. You get a raise? Great. The system immediately suggests an upgrade. You deserve it, they say. That is the phrase that kills. You deserve a better car. You deserve a vacation on credit. You deserve the latest iPhone Pro Max. You do not deserve it. You deserve freedom. But freedom is expensive. And you are spending your freedom capital on plastic junk manufactured in a sweatshop. Let's talk about the specific architecture of this prison. The credit score. This is the gamification of your slavery. The system gave you a number, a score, like a video game. And they told you that if you are a good boy, if you are a compliant little rat, your score goes up. Oh, look at that. 750. 800. You feel a swell of pride. I have excellent credit, you tell your friends. You idiot. You absolute fool. A high credit score does not measure your wealth. It measures your ability to borrow money and pay interest to the master without rebelling. It is a measure of how good you are at being a profitable slave. The billionaires, the real players, the ones who own the maze you are running in, they do not care about their personal credit score in the way you do. They use debt as a weapon, as leverage to acquire cash-flowing assets. You use debt to buy liabilities that depreciate the second the ink is dry. You are using a bazooka to blow off your own foot. Think about the sheer madness of the Tesla and noodles phenomenon. The car is a liability. It loses value every single day. The technology becomes obsolete. The battery degrades. It is a sinking ship. But you polish the deck chairs. Meanwhile, your body, your actual vehicle for navigating this reality, is being fueled by sodium, preservatives, and sugar. You are prioritizing the health of a machine over the health of your biology. This is the ultimate victory of the consumerist programming. They have convinced you that the object is more valuable than the subject. You have become an accessory to your own possessions. You do not own the Tesla. The Tesla owns you. It demands your labor. It demands your anxiety. It sits in the driveway, laughing at you while you slurp down that salty broth, worrying about the next payment. And the irony? The premium part of premium poor is an illusion. It is a veneer. It is gold paint on a piece of rotting wood. You go to a luxury resort, put it on the credit card, take the photos for Instagram, and then spend the next 6 months paying it off with interest. You didn't buy a vacation. You bought a memory of a vacation that you are now renting from the bank at a 20% markup. You are renting your own life. Nothing you have is yours. The bank owns the house. The lender owns the car. The credit card company owns the clothes on your back. If the music stopped today, if the financial grid went down, you would be naked and homeless in an instant. You have zero equity in your own existence. This is where the bakery math comes in. And I want you to listen because the numbers do not lie. People lie. Politicians lie. Your feelings lie. Math tells the truth. Let's take two subjects. Subject A is the premium poor rat. He makes $100,000 a year. He buys the $60,000 car. He buys the $600,000 house. After taxes, insurance, interest, maintenance, and the minimum payments on his student loans, he has negative $400 at the end of the month. He covers the gap with a credit card. His net worth is effectively negative because his liabilities are massive and his assets are illiquid and leveraged. Now, look at subject B, the sovereign individual. He makes the same $100,000, but he drives a 10-year-old Toyota that he bought for cash. It is ugly. It has a dent in the bumper. Nobody looks at him with envy at the stoplight. In fact, the valet looks at him with disgust. Good, let them hate. He rents a modest apartment or buys a house well below his means. He invests 50% of his income into boring, cash-flowing assets. Index funds, real estate that pays him rent, maybe a small business. In 10 years, Subject A is still drowning. Probably divorced because financial stress is the #1 killer of marriages. And he is looking for a window to jump out of. Subject B is retired. Subject B is free. Subject B owns his time. Subject A owns a shiny metal box and a stomach ulcer. Who is the winner? Who is the smart one? The system relies on your inability to delay gratification. They have weaponized your biology against you. We evolved in a world of scarcity, where if you saw food, you ate it. If you saw a resource, you grabbed it. Now, we live in a world of artificial abundance and infinite traps. Your primitive brain sees the shiny car and says, status, mating potential, survival. Your logical brain, which is currently in a coma, should be screaming, trap, danger, slavery. But you have sedated your logical brain with entertainment, with Netflix, with the endless scroll of social media, which is just a catalog of things you cannot afford being displayed by people who are also faking it. You are living in a hall of mirrors. You are competing with avatars. You see an influencer with a Lamborghini and you think, I need to step up my game. You do not know that he rented that Lamborghini by the hour. You do not know that he is living in a studio apartment with 5 other guys. You are destroying your real financial future to compete with a fake image projected by a stranger. It is a mental illness. It is a mass psychosis. And you have the audacity to call yourself middle class. There is no middle class anymore. There are the owners, and there are the owned. If you have to trade time for money to survive, and if you are one missed paycheck away from disaster, you are not middle class. You are the owned. You are livestock. You are a milk cow for the banking industry, and they will milk you until you are dry, and then they will turn you into hamburger meat. Let's talk about the golden handcuffs. This is the term for the high salary that keeps you trapped in a job you despise. You cannot quit. You cannot start your own business. You cannot take a sabbatical to find yourself. Why? Because the monthly nut is too high. The mortgage, the car note, the private school tuition for kids you rarely see because you are working all the time. You have built a cage out of gold bars, but it is still a cage. You look at the guy working at the coffee shop and you think you are better than him. Are you? He can quit tomorrow and walk away. His overhead is low. He is free in a way you are not. You are a slave to the lifestyle you built. You are a servant to your own furniture. And do not get me started on the pobre premium aesthetic in the workplace. The suits, the watches, the power lunches. It is all cosplay. You are dressing up as a wealthy person while your bank account screams in agony. You buy a $1,000 suit to impress a boss who sees you as a row on a spreadsheet. A row he can delete with a keystroke if the quarterly earnings are down. You are investing in a perishable image instead of an imperishable foundation. So, what is the exit? How do you kill the rat? How do you escape the matrix of the premium poor? It requires a radical, violent shift in your mindset. You have to be willing to look like a failure to the world so you can be a success in reality. It means selling the Tesla. Yes, sell it. Get rid of it. Drive a beater. Drive a car that embarrasses your ego. Feel the burn of that embarrassment. That burn is your ego dying. Let it die. That ego is a parasite. It means downsizing. It means cutting up the credit cards. It means eating real food cooked at home, not because you are cheap, but because you value your biological machine more than the opinion of the valet. It means embracing monk mode. You stop trying to keep up. You disappear from the status game. You take that $1,500 a month you were throwing into the fire of car payments and interest, and you buy freedom. You buy stocks. You buy Bitcoin. You buy gold. You buy land. You buy your own debt and destroy it. You have to understand the power of compound interest, not just in money, but in habits. If you compound stupidity, if you compound debt, the curve goes exponential against you. You wake up at 50 years old, broken, tired, and owned. But if you flip the equation, if you compound savings, if you compound knowledge, if you compound sovereignty, you become untouchable. This is not about being miserly. This is not about living in scarcity. It is about strategic allocation of resources. It is about refusing to play a rigged game. When you drive the old car, you are giving the middle finger to the system. You are saying, your marketing does not work on me. Your psychological warfare has failed. That is power. That is the only status symbol that matters. The receipt that says paid in full. You need to become a ghost to the credit bureaus. You need to become a nightmare for the marketers. You need to become the person they cannot track, cannot trigger, and cannot milk. You need to eat steak, not instant noodles, but you eat it in a kitchen you own, in a house you can afford, with a car in the driveway that owes you nothing. So, here is your mission. This is the pact. Go look at your bank statement. Look at the outflows. Highlight every single item that is there purely for vanity, purely for status, purely to feed the rat. Total it up. That number is the price of your slavery. That number is how much you are paying to remain a prisoner. Are you angry yet? You should be furious. You should be shaking with rage. Use that rage. Do not suppress it. Use it to cut the chains. Drop the comment below. I want to see who is awake. I want you to write shiny cage, because that is what it is. A shiny, glittering, leather-upholstered cage. Admit it. Acknowledge it. And then break the bars. Stop trying to look rich. Be rich. There is a universe of difference. One is a trap. The other is a fortress. Build the fortress. Starve the rat. Feed the king. The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking and the interest is compounding every second you hesitate. Wake up.